Hey y'all, I know I haven't been around since what last weekend. So this week kind of turned into a mess. 3 months ago, excuse me, excuse me. 3 months ago, I went to the hospital because I thought I had a kidney stone, and that's what I told them I had. I've had these for 35 years. I can kind of tell when I have a kidney stone. You would think, hopefully. So I went in and they said, no, that's not a kidney stone. You're having a muscle spasm. And I let it go because I was like, okay, maybe they're true. Because I was doing some stuff and I lifted some stuff. And I said, okay, well, maybe that's the case. So they slapped some Salon paws on my back and sent me home. And a month went by. And I had what I thought was a kidney stone. It was probably the same one, but I was told it was a muscle spasm from the doctor a month earlier. So I said, maybe you want to take a picture to make sure that this is really what you think it is, because you told me I had another muscle spasm. He goes, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to slap Salon paws on you like we did before and send you home. Another month went by. It was now 4 o'clock in the morning this week, on Wednesday, technically. And for me, it was Tuesday because I hadn't gone to bed yet. But I went back to the hospital and I said, I'm having a kidney stone. This time, one of you is going to take a picture to prove to me that this is what this is, because you keep telling me that I have muscle spasms. This can't be possible to have 3 muscle spasms in 3 months, 1 a month. It doesn't make any sense. So they go, okay, well, we'll do a CAT scan and to make sure that you know what you're talking about. Okay, and like I said, 35 years of this, I kind of know what my body does. But you're the doctor, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So he finally does come back and goes, yeah, you have a 4 millimeter kidney stone. I'm like, yeah, I've been dealing with it for 3 months. So what are we gonna do about it? He goes, well, we'll give you pain meds and all that fun stuff, and which 4 or 5 hours had gone by before they even gave me pain meds. And it was now 11 o'clock the next day, so I've been there since 4 in the morning. And he goes, well, we're just going to send you home, and we'll give you morphine to take at your house. And you can call your doctor, your kidney doctor, and he can take care of this because it's not our issue. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went with that, and I went home, and 11 o'clock, and I tried to get my prescription filled. I called every hour on the hour till 6 o'clock, and my prescription never got filled. It didn't actually technically get filled till 8:30 that night, so by 6 o'clock, my pain was back, because the morphine they gave me in the hospital wore off. So I returned to the hospital for my second ER visit, and like I said, it was now 6 o'clock. I sat in the ER for 4 or 5 hours, and they finally gave me medicine at 11 o'clock because they were waiting for the doctor to sign off on the morphine injection, because I wanted it injected because that's what they used to give me. Nobody told me, if I take it orally, that they could have gave it to me hours earlier. And unfortunately, I'm also somebody who's never been able to swallow pills, which they find it completely ridiculous. Don't mind these hiccups. I'm still dealing with fallout from this, so I'm going to continue to hiccup here. So at 4, I don't know, it was about 11 o'clock that I finally got my morphine again. So, it'd been almost 24 hours of, being in the hospital and or in pain. And they finally put me in a room, and I was in this little cubby in the hallway for a day and a half. The people on the floor were okay. I mean, I didn't have most of them, I didn't have issues. To go back to the ER, Ma actually did come in to the ER. She got permission to from the front desk, and she sat down and she was there for maybe about 10 minutes. And one of the nurses stormed over and she goes, who are you and what are you doing in here? Leave now. And if either one of us were in the right, we would have said, you know what, lady, this is none of your business, and you could have not talked to us that way. It's not hard to be. I understand that, they might be burned out a little bit from COVID and all that fun stuff that we've been dealing with, but there's no reason to talk to anybody like that. I mean, you don't order somebody around. You could have been nice and said, I understand you're in the room. We don't permit you in here because it's the emergency department. I don't know who let you in, but you please, can you leave? You don't come over and demand, get out. So, needless to say, my ER visit, and before they put me up in the room, I had a meltdown in the ER, because, I just couldn't handle this anymore. I had one the first time they sent me home because I knew I was going to be back there. And then once they said they were going to send me home again, I had my meltdown and they changed their mind. They're like, maybe we need to actually admit this person because he's obviously not handling this well because, he's sobbing in the middle of the emergency room. And I'm trying not to do that again because, my trauma response is not well after 35 years. You kind of get PTSD from all this crap that I've had to deal with. So, yeah, I was in the little cubby room. They kept me there for about a day because the doctor couldn't operate on me until yesterday, which was, Friday, I guess. I don't know what the hell day it is. I kind of lost track after all this crap. So, he did go up there and remove the stone. It didn't take him long. The issue I had when I was they usually leave you in recovery until you wake up. Well, consider recovery closed at 8. It was like 7:30 before I was even in recovery. Again, don't mind the hiccups. I'm sorry. So I woke up in my room that they put me in, and I had no idea where I was, what was going on. Evidently, Ma tried to wake me up, and because she said I wasn't really breathing too well, and they told her to get out again, and she's like, I'm not leaving until you find out what the hell's wrong with him because he doesn't even know where he is. He doesn't even know I put his rings on. He's not answering me. I had to shake him, and he didn't answer me then. So I guess technically, by the second time I woke up is when I realized, I was in the room, and they're like, you need to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, you need to use the walker again. I go, I used it the first time? And they were like, yeah, you don't remember? I'm like, no, I don't remember. So by the time third time I came around, I was awake enough to know what I was doing and I could walk. But I don't know, this had to be one of the worst of my top 10 hospital stays I've ever dealt with. I understand, like I said, COVID is on and, you have policies and people are burned out, but you still should communicate with your patients because there was, like, no communication hardly at all. I mean, if she would have came and told me when I was in the air that we're waiting for the doctor to sign off on your morphine, you'll get it when he's done, that would have relieved almost all of my problems with waiting for medicine, even though it took 4 hours. There was just so much crap I had to deal with this for a week. That shit has never, to me, it shouldn't happen. I mean, you're a patient, you're in pain, you don't want to have to sit here and listen to argue with nurses and staff and doctors and all that fun stuff, especially if you've been doing this as long as I have. I mean, like I said, 35 years, I've been doing this more than some of those people who've been nurses and or alive, so finally, they released me about noon today, and I was just done. I just wanted to go home, and I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. So, unfortunately, this is going to be kind of a long video because, I just needed to get this shit off my chest. It's just, it was just completely unreal. I even actually, I think I said to the PA one time, I said, this is one of my most horrible experiences in the hospital, and I don't even know why it had to be. Because everybody, if they just communicated with me, half of the stuff wouldn't even been an issue. I think when I broke down, during my sob session, I think what really got their act together because like, going, well, if you don't treat me like this, treat this for me like you usually do, because you used to always put me in the hospital and they would control my pain, and then when they had an opening, I would get operated. They're like, well, we don't do that anymore. We send you home. You take care of your medicine at home. And if you have problems, you just come back here. I'm like, I've already been here twice. I can't keep coming back to the ER when I'm here. It doesn't make any sense that you're not going to admit me and take care of my pain. And when you have an opening, we'll remove the stone, which is what we've always done. So I think at one point I said, well, either you take care of this or I'll take care of this, and I'll go find the gun and get in this, end this shit, because this is ridiculous. I can't deal with this anymore. It's been almost 12 hours, and you people are just not willing to help anybody. So she goes, oh, we can't have that. You need to stay here, and we'll go take care of this, and we'll figure out what we're going to do. I go, but that's what you need to do, because this is unreal. I mean, come on, people. I came here for a reason, and I've been dealing with this for technically 3 months, and I can't keep doing this. It's ridiculous. So, luckily they put me up on the floor, and I didn't have the same issues that I had in the ER. Every time you're in an ER, it's like you have to fight for your life because nobody wants to admit you, and they don't want to take care of you. But this is the purpose of going to the ER as far as I'm concerned. So, I don't know. I might even send this video to the hospital itself. Because, and then Mom did actually file a complaint because she said the way we were treated in the ER was completely uncalled for. I mean, you don't treat patients that way when they're sick. And you don't treat family members. You don't march up to them and go, get out. And you don't belong here. And who the hell are you? I mean, come on. So, needless to say, this was not one of my better visits. And yes, this turned kind of into a rant, but I needed to get some stress relief because the last 4 days it's just been completely insane as far as I'm concerned. I mean, just even a little more compassion and communicating with your patients about what's going on and what you want to do is not too much to ask. So, but I'm home and I'm just waiting for another thing of medicine that I got to go pick up. And I'm going to hopefully get back to my writing plan because I lost 3,000 words to the Asiatics this week. And I'll finish Vela. And my side hustle is going to be on pause for a while because I don't think I'm up to doing DoorDash while this is going on because I still have a stint and I got to call the kidney doctor on Monday so they can remove that. And I have to do all my follow-up stuff. So, this week I'm just going to get back to finishing Asiatics and get that done because now I'm behind on it. And cover artist, excuse the hiccups again, did send me my cover for Crimson Rose, and I showed it off to those on my mailing list, which I sent today. So the rest of the weekend, I'm just going to rest and relax and probably either game or read. But unfortunately, this is, my stress relief video, so that's all I have to say. But, oh, God, I hope I never have another hospital experience like this because, like I said, this was one of my top 10 most horrible ones. And it was just the way we were treated and communicated with. Half of this stuff it didn't need to happen, but it's over with, and I guess I just, file away with my normal trauma that I have and get through it again. So, yeah, I did my crying thing. I did want to give Ma a shout out because she bought me this awesome wolf in the gift shop, so I've been showing that off on my TikToks too because I've been updating them on TikTok when I was in the hospital because those are quicker. So I'm going to take off and go get dinner and, just kind of chill out because it's been horrible 3-4 days. So see you later.